All right, everybody, welcome back to another Hard Rocker Esports stream. We are welcoming you here to the first round of playoffs. My name's Coach T.
And my name's deathhavbagels.
And we're so happy to have you here, guys. Tonight we got quite an interesting matchup. We have Mines taking on the Augustana Vikings, and you cannot see that logo at all. I mean, you can't do much about it, honestly. But welcome back, everyone. We are ready, and we got an action-packed night for you. Last match. Let's go back 2 weeks ago. We have actual clips. Just fun stuff. It's all Ben, so it's okay. Yeah, something to look at, something fun. Last match we played ISU, and ISU, it was kind of a bit of a disappointing game.
Yeah.
Right, and you kind of wished for more. But so the shakeout, I pretty much predicted identically what was going to happen. I don't know if anybody heard, but I called that ISU was going to drop out of the playoffs. They did. So we shifted up to third, and we ended up playing Augustana, which is the 6th seed for this division. But anyway, we ended up beating them 2-1, and Game 3 was an FF. Game 1 was really good, though.
Yeah.
From what I remember, Game 1 was really good, and then Game 2, it just seemed like they could not do anything about
their jungler disconnect. What, like
15
minutes or something?
20 minutes.
It wasn't
almost.
even that long, because am I thinking of the right game?
No, yeah, you are.
It was.
Yeah, I think it was like 20 minutes.
Lilia game, where they were on Lilia.
It was well, actually, it was Game 1 that they disconnected for that long.
No, I think in the second game they also disconnected, and then they lost like 6.
That's why they decided to
kills
FF.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but to be honest though, that Game 1, I think the only reason we lost is for somehow a 0-5 and Bessa just walked through the entirety of mine. So
it's they're a very good top lane.
Champion design is questionable there. But on to the next thing here. We're going to talk about tonight's lineups. For Mines, everybody's happy, everybody's healthy. In the top lane, Atso is going to be there. In the jungle, you'll have Garlic. In mid lane, we'll have Genesis. And the bot lane is going to be, as always, Elusive and MX Compton on support and AD carry, respectively. For Augustana, again, very similar to last time we played him. In fact, the exact same. You're going to see Iceman, Rem, Squid God, Dayu, and I forgot his name is, oh God, I got to remember. Dilshan, TM Dilshan. Dilshan TM. I don't know why, but on the roster it says that name, and that's the name we went with, but I know it's TM Dilshan. So welcome back, AU Vikings, Mr. Augustana. Good old TM Dilshan. You guys are awesome. I'm glad to have you guys here for the, what would this be? Round 1 of playoffs, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So, on to one of our favorite parts of the night, predictions. Bagels, as always, I'll let you have the floor for the first minute or so here.
I think for whatever reason, I'm thinking 2-0 tonight. I usually say 2-1, but I think we've got a bit bigger of an advantage over the other team than we usually do, which should lend us not like an easy victory, but a well-fought victory.
Absolutely. And I love to bring notice to this in the bottom here for those watching. Yeah, there was a 4-way tie for first, which is actually kind of cool. But, Bagels, I'm with you on this one. Last time we played Augustana, we had a pretty swift 2-0. The guys looked really, really good. And is my collar up? That looks weird. I don't like that. But not to get distracted or anything. I might have ADHD or something. I don't know. But I'm with you. I think 2-0 in favor of Mines. Last time we played Vikings, we did really well. It looked really good. They played well, and Mines just kind of played their game. I think we had 2 25-minute-ish games. Augustana.
Not too long.
So not terrible, but that's not to count out Augustana just yet. Augustana is a pretty decent team.
Yeah. They're
not bad. They're not last place. They're not first either, but when you got teams like Giants that can lead to a 4-way tie in first.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of difficult to compete, but I'm happy that we get to play Augustana because these games are always entertaining for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that, 2-0 is our guess for tonight. And we should be underway here for game number 1 here. So make sure you stay tuned for game number 1 of Mines taking on the Augustana Vikings. We'll see you early.
I would climb 1,000 mountains.
Alrighty. Looks like we're getting set up here for game number 1 here. They're doing some final calculations down there in the chat. I can hear them already. But, you know, while we got some time, let's talk about something to expect from Mines tonight. Any picks you're looking forward to, or anything you think that Mines is going to bust out tonight against Augustana?
Not particularly. Just the usuals like Gwen, Yone, Silas, all the things you kind of expect to see from this team. Just really solid picks overall, especially the Gwen. I think the Gwen's either going to be picked or banned.
Yeah, I agree completely with that. I actually disagree with the Yone. Yone actually went through quite a nerf recently.
Yeah, I don't watch the patches. So.
It's nothing to do with like damage or anything. In fact, they buffed his damage because I don't know if you knew, but Yone passive had like a 10% damage reduction or something like that. Opposed to Yasuo's just double the crit. I think Yone started with like -10 crit or something. I don't know how it works, but they removed that. Whatever that was, they removed the crit. And they removed the penalty or 10%, whatever it was. It was like 10%. I know what that's all I remember. But the big thing is they removed the crowd control removal of the return of his E.
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
Because and that's a crucial tool for Yone to be able to get in and out of fights. And unfortunately, they kind of took it away from him. So pretty rough nerf for Yone. They also nerfed Yorick into the ground, which is actually wild. They made Maiden pretty much useless.
They did?
Yes, they did.
Because I know, like, Yorick's still playable jungle.
Yeah,
100%. That's like where he's strongest.
The Maiden, they like took away all Maiden's damage and made her 3 times as tanky. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, like it doesn't do anything.
It's so weird.
So, but hello, Sir Blue Dog. Welcome back. One of our many astounding fans here at RRQ Esports. They're taking a long time to get this draft started. I figured they'd be started by now. But we'll keep talking because that's what you guys pay us to do. Our Twitch?
Oh, okay.
Let's go, dude! And honestly, I love the Augustana guys, so I try to be as fair and balanced with it as possible. But it looks like we've already got some bans in their way. Viego and Yorick are banned away from Garlic already, and Mine's keeping away Skarner and Nefiri, which is available round 1 now after the Nefiri reworks, which actually are insane. Nefiri is a really good champion right now. Mine's rounds out their bans with a Heimerdinger, and Augie Doggy's looking to do it with a Silas here.
I'm guessing the Heimerdinger is just what the mid plays. Or the mid or top.
Mine's does lock in the Yone. Interestingly enough, I don't know how I feel about that. Like I said, Yone did go through quite a nerf recently. So maybe I missed something. Maybe they reverted it.
Wonder if they don't play many champions of CC that they're worried about.
Oriana would be a pretty big one. Oriana on the table here for Augie Doggies. And Mines now have a Yone. To be honest, though, regardless of the nerfs, Genesis is like champ. He's the GOAT. For a lack of better words, he's the GOAT. Here at Mines. So if anyone can make it work, it's him. They pick Yasuo. It's Oriana Yasuo. That is the wildest combination there I think I've seen in a while.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Yasuo AD carry, right?
something like that.
I think.
Because I don't
If
know
Yasuo
why
AD
you'd pick Oriana for Yasuo otherwise.
Dude, I'm just saying, dude, I would die for a Fiddlestick Swain bot lane right now.
Oh my gosh, sounds. I don't want to see that. That sounds.
Into Yasuo, whatever, dude. Fiddlestick Swain would be so funny. Zaya. Does that mean we're gonna get
Makes
Rakan as
sense.
well? Rakan's
Maybe?
not in an awful spot right now.
Yeah, but I don't think Nick.
Yeah,
He likes the other engaged supports more.
He's not a very good Rakan player. As a Rakan OTP, I have analyzed his Rakan skills, and he could use a little work. I did show him a couple things in Rakan, a couple fun things. So maybe Rakan is on the table, but we'll see. But I'd like to see the Alleycopter Pantheon.
That's definitely jungle.
Jungle, really? Garlic plays Pantheon jungle?
I mean, it's not a hard character to play jungle.
That's fair. It's not a hard character to play in general.
Yeah, it's either because I don't know why they'd pick it top without knowing. I don't think Ben plays it. I don't know. I just don't expect him to be the kind of person to play it.
And
They
Rammus.
pick
Oh
Rammus.
god.
That's
Yeah.
actually pretty good.
That's a very good
So
pickup.
far.
Yeah, that's a very good pickup. His mine's is very AD heavy right now.
80 attack heavy, especially.
Oh my lord, Rammus is actually a very good pickup. But I mean, Rammus doesn't even necessarily need to be ahead. They do ban away the Atsau
Gragas.
Groggy. They are
Yep.
scared of the Gragas. Did we play Gragas last time we played him?
Yep.
And it was pretty good. I'm pretty sure I remember that.
Rel ban.
Relwan? R.I.P. They don't want to play. It's the Rel.
Yeah, and they banned Shogoth.
What is
too.
Rel? Not that means they're probably looking to play not.
Maybe, yeah, some sort of engage. And Rel whenever you want to play engage.
I do think Alistar is actually pretty viable here, though.
Maybe. Malphite. Sense. They don't want the team having any more armor on their side.
Yeah,
Especially with the lethal engage ultimate from Malphite.
oh. Yeah. I Poppy support.
I don't know. I mean, Poppy Yasuo, I can see it, I suppose.
But you want some knockup. Like, Alistar's on the table. Play Alistar
Yeah.
Yasuo. Rakan's even on the table. Play Rakan Yasuo. Lilia. So it is Pantheon support.
Yeah. Or
Unless it's Pantheon top.
I think it's more likely to be top, right? I haven't seen Pantheon played support in so long.
After everything we watch in style and hear, I think this is the wonkiest draft I've ever seen. Still, that you see Oriana Yasuo first picked for, and mine's picks Pantheon, and then into Lilia. So what is happening? Mine's is out of time. They're gonna go with
it is a
Star
Pantheon
Walkin'
support. Hey then.
They are Star Walkin'.
Yeah, that's something I haven't seen in a long time.
And Kale will round out the picks for game number 1 here. Kale,
Really want to rely on a Kale,
dude,
for their damage.
level 16. I'm a champion.
If the game can go that long, sure, but I don't look at how much dive that Mines has to get on that.
Yeah,
Kale.
but look at how much AD they have. They have some AP.
Well, that's if they target Rammus. Like, he has the taunt, sure, but
Yeah, but all
What
they have to do
after
is build
that?
armor.
maybe.
That's
Even like just the Lilia sleep alone, that'll stop. I don't know. I don't like the Kale too much. It's a very immobile source of damage that you have to wait for it to scale to do anything.
I don't like Yasuo AD carry
Yeah.
because Yasuo will just get thrown out of lane if Compton plays properly.
Oh yeah, and especially since they picked Pantheon so that they just can't engage.
Right, and they don't have a direct means of knockup.
Oh no, yeah.
They have Yasuo Tornado and they have Poppy Hammer. Unless, can you ult off of Poppy's E?
I don't. Maybe.
Because I think the target must be airborne.
Yeah. No, Poppy does not airborne them. It just stuns.
So, yeah, airborne being one of the most unique CCs in the game, I guess.
And yet they love to give it to every other character. Although I think Oriana.
I'm actually looking at this. What do they have that knocks airborne?
Ramus Q does.
Ramus Q does. Does Command Shockwave does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because it pulls them towards the middle. Because pulls and pushes are considered knockups.
Okay, then, but would Poppy E become considered a knockup?
No, because I think it's a stun, but it doesn't. Well, I guess it's the difference of if you like think of it like the Milio Q, it knocks them up into the air when it pushes. Poppy literally just pushes them against the ground. It doesn't toss them in the air because Poppy still needs to push them into a wall. So yeah, I don't think it airbornes. I'm pretty sure it's just a stun.
But regardless, Yasuo is going to have a tough time in lane.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's I'm pretty sure that when Yasuo goes to all Pantheon has to do is press W and it cancels it.
Mm-hmm.
So, because he's not unstoppable when he ults. So,
yep.
So that's like a hard counter. And although Poppy W does stop Pantheon W, I think, because Pantheon W is considered a dash.
Yep, it would.
So I think, I don't know. It's like I said, this is a draft you don't see every day.
Yeah, Poppy's not a bad pick, but I don't think it's good for their laning phase at all.
Yeah, I mean, if Mines just plays even remotely well into it,
it's just not going to do well.
Yeah, because that's the whole melee into ranged deal, and having the ranged advantage early, Yasuo is just going to be completely poked out of lane if they do it properly.
Yeah.
Right. So. But you know how it is. Yasuo hits 0 and 10 and he gets his power spike. Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see one of those games. As far as Cassante into Kale, I actually don't know how that matchup works. Kale does have a funny button that just lets her not die.
Yeah.
But Cassante star walks, man. He moves. He schmoves.
Yeah, but can Kale even out damage his shielding?
Not till 16.
Yeah.
Not till 16.
That's my thing. Is like
that is a conditional. That's a conditional character for sure.
I still don't like the Kale, if I'm gonna be honest. I think if you want a ranged top lane, just go like a Vayne. That way you can actually move around.
Yeah, Vayne top, I actually don't mind Vayne top here, actually.
I think it'd be better than a Kale because you don't have to wait for 30 minutes for it to come online.
Exactly right. And Lilia and Ramus, Ramus is going to be a little bit more slow than Lilia is to start.
Yeah.
But Ramus is a brain dead character. Ramus is kind of one of those characters that play itself. Mm-hmm. And regardless if it's ahead or not, it's doing stuff.
Yeah, it'll Ramus I think is probably Ramus and Orianna are their best picks for sure. I just don't know if it'll be enough to carry the Kale Yasuo.
I'm not sure either.
I think it'll just come down to a matter of who plays their lanes better, but I think it's a lot more weighed towards Mines winning.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Bagels. With that, I think we're going to take a small break here while we get into game number 1. So make sure you stay tuned of game number 1 of Augustana versus the South Dakota Mines. We'll see you shortly.
You lift me off of the ground. I close my eyes and I wait for the come down. I used to live in the now. Now I'm wiser to think that we are bulletproof. Teens with thicker skin, now we just bruise. We were hopeless and we're hopeless now. But I remember we threw our fists in the air singing. I remember when we were kids, never scared, yeah. And the sky went dark, we used our hearts to guide us. You showed me you care. And I remember, yeah, I remember.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another game one here, the final one of the season going on the channel. This is for LAN. Mine's playing Augustan here. Mine's on the blue side, Augustan on the right, and not a single sneaky thing going on so far. We had a little bit of a technical issue at the beginning of the game, but now we are it's fixed. We're back and happier than ever. So how do you feel so far about this game? Are you looking forward to gaming one of this series?
I mean, it'll be interesting for sure, and it looks like we've already got some invading happening. Really trying to steal the chickens. Nope, just Warden. Wandering the jungle.
Yeah, some casual warding. Oh, they're sitting on a ward. Rough.
I think they might know he warded there.
They're going to bring up Poppy for this one. That's actually a pretty good ward. It's paying off right now.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if mine's
I don't know if this works out.
Actually, I don't know if they have enough damage.
Yeah, it seems like Mines will be able to kind of walk here as Elusive is now coming up. Mines maybe looking for something here. Flash on the wall. Nice flash done.
No.
Tack might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be forced to flash away. He does get ignited to knock up. It's going to lock in first blood, and Mines finds the first kill of the evening. And it looked bad for Mines, but Mines is able to make the most of it with a flash over the wall from Elusive.
Yeah, Nick followed that up really well. Man. Just literally followed Poppy. Tracked where she was going. Is like, yeah, maybe we can get something out of this, and they did.
He's going to hit level 2 here. What's in my trunk might be in a little bit of trouble here. Is he going to be pretty low? Turns back. Yeah, he's going to get flashed at. Forces the flash. Ooh. Comet barely not killing. But he is able to get back to safety. Rem now finishing up his red buff. Both junglers are going to be pathing towards the bottom side of this map. And this is kind of what I expected. Yasuo and Poppy both being melee characters. And the two melee range, or melee and at ranged, they're gonna struggle because they're gonna be very very careful, because getting onto Xayah early is gonna be difficult, especially with Pantheon nearby.
Yeah, I don't think they can. I think they just gotta watch and let it all happen.
Yep, just gotta let them sit in. Yeah, Yasuo honestly isn't the worst champion to sit under turret with. They're definitely worse.
Yeah,
so.
He can handle it, but I don't think they want to. I think the goal with Yasuo was to try and get some of those cheeky kills.
What's in my trunk? And they're looking here early. Misses the knockup, but Squid's able to play a little bit of distance, plays spacing very well. And Mines might lose a cannon here. They do not. Iceman going in, nice stun.
Ooh.
This is what I'm talking about, is the return value from Mines is so much higher from Yasuo.
Yeah, I don't think Kale really wins that, does she?
I don't know. Early, maybe. She should have a ranged advantage against Cassante.
Yeah. But a lot of that damage came from minions, though. And the fact that Atsul missed the knockup, I think.
Yeah, Mines is actually in a pretty good spot here for a gank. They're going to try to hold this wave right at their turret, and it's going to make Yasuo kind of struggle even more. Rammus, though, look at this. Rammus might be a little bit caught out.
Yeah.
He's going to flash over the wall. and Elusive going to walk him out of the jungle. Just a minute till his first dragon spawns. And I'm not a big fan of how they do it now, where you can't see what the first dragon is.
Yeah.
It's depressing. But
kind of sucks. Can't really play our game yet.
yeah, can't see who comes out on top. Yeah, again, like I said, this is kind of exactly what we expected. Yasuo and Poppy are going to struggle very early at this. So,
Not very interesting.
yeah, kind of lame to be honest. But oh well. They did. Rammus did secure the Scuttle Crab here on the bottom, but Lilia looking to go top lane, getting the Scuttle Crab up there. So quite even so far on all fronts, really, minus the one kill in the mid lane.
Yeah.
What's in my trunk? And try to pop.
Getting some damage in on them.
Yeah, that turret's gonna take quite a bit of damage there. It is a Cloud Dragon.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is. That's where it showed the Fire Drake icon there.
No, that's just like a generic icon.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Before it was better.
True.
There's C. Mine's gonna look to get a back in here. And honestly, they're pretty happy with the way things went bot lane so far.
Yep.
Compton's got a pretty good lead on CS.
But I don't know if they can. They might be able to get back up on that CS before they can get back.
You know, I'm looking at this. What is Elusive doing, man? He's mid lane.
That is a great question. I think they're trying to maybe try and get a kill on Kale or like mid lane and then go get Grubs.
Oh, Squid is up here quite a bit. And with Lilia, they're going to try to go in here. Bowling Ball is going to hit, but Lullaby won't be necessary. Squid might be in a little more damage. The nice stun locking. Elusive will find that kill on the Squid. Again, not really what you would hope early, but mine's going to look for Grubs now as Rammus is going to go towards that dragon.
Although with the support this time around being Pantheon rather than the typical engaged support,
He's going to have damage.
He's going to build damage rather than health, which is kind of what you want your gold going to. Still like to see it go to your carries, but Pantheon at least will use it better than something like an Alistar will.
That's true. Even though AP Alistar is kind of fun.
Yeah.
You don't typically see AP
not
Alistar built. Yeah, you don't typically see AP Alistar built.
That got nerfed too.
That's true. Did they?
Yeah, it got.
His,
it was a long time ago, but
his headbutt still has 100% scaling.
Mm-hmm.
That's the wild thing.
Yeah.
And Augustin will pick up this first dragon. Good for them. Mine's just over about 1,500 up on Augustana now. At just 7 minutes. Now, what's in my trunk? Going to pop that spell shield early. Nice knockup. However, I don't think he's going to be able to kill. He's just going to be able to trade back so much, a lot of damage. Oh, but he is going to go in with the Fate Sealed. Squid God's going to pop Command Shockwave, but is it going to be enough? The flash in, the knockup, and he does go down. And that is another feat of warfare going on to Yone. And you know, they're gonna be able to get that tier 3 boots here pretty soon.
Yeah, that little dash.
Actually, do they already have tier 3 boots?
I don't think so. I think
it's annoying because
there's
there's
get
no
them after a couple minutes.
There's no good spectator.
I think it's the little icons. They have to be red.
Well, yeah,
The
well I know
boots
what they
have to be
look
red.
like, right? But you know when they complete the feats of warfare, right?
No, yeah.
Because you can complete it before you can get them.
The boots get a little red outline around them, even if they're not the tier 3.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. And Mr. Yone does not have the little red outline yet. So in fact, he bought those very early.
He missed the queue, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, he's already pretty far ahead, so he's just trying to keep that advantage.
Oh, that's dude. Cassante damage is kind of wild.
Yeah,
going in there. They're actually trying to turn this one. Nice knockup, and they're gonna pop immediately. They're gonna drop that onto Elusive. Interesting choice, but Iceman's gonna find the kill, and now he's gonna turn on to Compton, and Compton's kind of useless right now against him. He's gonna pop the feathers fly. He's gonna get the run. He does get the kill. Iceman a little bit overzealous. But going for the support first was the idea there. I like that idea, running down Elusive. But Compton is still able to get the kill.
Yeah.
And that is very worth it for Mines. Picking up a kill. And, I mean, if you're going to lose anybody in the bot lane, you lose the support. And if you can get a trade in there onto your AD carry, that's even better.
Yeah.
So, very, very, very decent play there from Compton. Especially when, you know, you got to go into a Yasuo, which typically as a mid lane champ is kind of difficult to play in as an AD carry. But
yeah, it's just does not the best thing you want to see. Poppy did to get away after Compton Flash, which is also not really what he wanted, and that is one dead Orianna.
Yeah, Squid God is just going to go in here. They're going to try to turn this one. Rem is going to show up here top lane, and Atso is able to flash the safety, and Rem -1 gank there in the top lane.
Yeah, I don't think either Rammus Kale does not really have the damage.
Yeah, especially against Cassante.
Yeah, no.
Unless Cassante's all out, but
yeah, even when he's
gonna
all
look
out,
here.
then they have to be worried.
They're gonna pop the lullaby as long as Compton doesn't pop it. Grand Starfall gonna come in, and odd enough for Poppy to go back in. But
weird choice.
Yasuo will go, and Poppy is able to get back to safety for the time being. However, I'm pretty sure it looks like maybe a dive is the option. Unleash teleport now available for everybody that has teleport in the game,
which tends to be most people.
Yeah, it's probably one of the second most tick and spell in the game.
Yeah,
opposed to Flash.
Yeah, I don't think Flash will ever get dethroned unless it gets a major rework.
I mean,
like teleport did.
Oh my God, Tech! What are you doing, brother? What are you doing? He's gonna pop the W.
Don't know if
He's gonna be taken really low. Is the game already open? What? Why did the Nvidia overly open? It's a little bit awkward. But Squid gonna be kind of hanging out there. Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
My God, that damage is crazy.
Kale just doesn't deal damage, and he returns with all the damage Kale did to him.
Bro, it's
nuts.
He is star walking here in the top lane. Dude, you know, Mbessa was still on the board. I want to see Mbessa. I heard some stuff about Atso Mbessa that I actually really want to see it.
I don't think he likes playing the character.
Yeah, I mean,
I talked to him after that game, and he's like, yeah, I played a single game after, and he went like 9-5 or something like that after getting walked in under turret. Like, he just said that character is just not interesting. Funny.
Yeah. Supports have migrated to mid lane, it seems. Both the AD carries let defend them for themselves here.
Oh, it looks like the ADC might try and intervene.
That is 6 Void Grubs. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, actually 5 Grubs. Rem did pick up 1. But still a buff going to go on to mines for tower takers.
Yep. Which is not what you want to see. Still a lot of extra damage onto your turrets.
Okay, it is an Infernal Dragon Mine. So we had Cloud and we have Infernal. What's your thoughts?
Let's do Hextech.
I'm going to say Ocean.
Okay. Can't even remember what our score was, like 2.5.
Yeah, I got a weird 0.51.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Ocean.
Oh,
Big W, gosh. Big W. Let's go. Oh, it's Ocean Dragon. He's gonna Atso's here. Tech is here as well. Atso might be in a little bit of trouble as he's gonna be able to walk, but really, really wise choice there to hang on to the all out. However, if they're not careful. He just presses W, he blocks all that, but he's going to take quite a bit of damage. He is going to go down there in the top lane. They bring 4.
Kale had to ult.
And that is unfortunate.
They had a turret locked onto her.
But look at this. Mines is thinking the exact same thing on the bot side of this map. This AD carry might be in a little bit of trouble here. As there goes, nice Q. Last breath is going to go, and he's going to get 1 kill, but Lullaby going to be the killing force there, and another kill going on to MX Compton. That's a 3-0 Xayah. And that is the completed feats of warfare now. Well, probably 5 kills ago, but you know, we're seeing it. Fate's still gonna land barely on the Squid.
No.
Squid doesn't have a turret to return to, and yeah, he's done for it. Oh, he flashes over the wall.
Yep.
How did he get the kill?
The mark.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yep, you're right. The mark. And mine's now pushing just under a 5,000 gold lead on Augustana with that last kill. I like the thought there, top lane. But if you're gonna go after someone with a shutdown.
Yeah, and at least give it to someone that wasn't Poppy. Like, I don't know why you gave it to Poppy and not Kale.
Well, Kale was forced to flash out Grand Starfall here in the mid lane. No, Iceman's gonna be forced to flash away.
Nick's already back. Did he ult? Yep, he did.
Yeah, he did. He Grand Starfalled in. And Mine's now gonna take this jungle away from Rammus. But Rammus has not been able to farm pretty much all game.
Yeah, you just want to
Tech,
push
bro.
that
What are you doing,
advantage
brother?
as much as possible. By Poppy Eid there. By Lilia with no dashes.
Rem's here. So is Kale. That might be trying to turn this one. Rem.
I don't
he's going
think
to be
you
located.
want to try and turn this one.
Yeah,
Mr.
flash.
Rem.
Oh no, Lucive's gonna die. Not able to block the damage. Kasante is here. They're gonna look here under turret. Rem's gonna flash away. Atso does have the all out. But
I think
mine's
they want to do it though.
mine's is still a good spot here to kill it. Yep, there he goes all out and Rem dies immediately. Oh, he's gonna be able to get out.
No way.
That's rough.
No one went after him.
I would have. I would have sent. Personally, I think it would have been better to send Atso after him, but
Yeah.
you know they made the call. They wanted under turret. Poppy's gonna be knocked up. Yasuo did not complete the Yasuo thing there, where you automatically press R.
Yeah, not the Yasuo reflexes right there.
Yeah, I was here. Thank you, Simbad. Welcome back to the stream. What about Zaddy? Ilshan might be in a little bit of trouble here. Oh my god, that's nasty.
Damage.
Dilshan's gonna be forced to back away as Yone takes a turret shot from across the map.
Yep.
And Elusive setting up for Dragon here. Minute and a half to this next Dragon. And it seems Oriana's pushed under turret from this Xayah.
Ooh.
Oh, Elusive does
I don't know
hang
if you
out
wanna
right on
go
top of the
in
bubble.
here.
However, this turret might go down.
Very alone.
Rammus is in here. Yeah, Elusive needs to back up here. What's my truck just a little bit late on the ball, but he's here, which is the important part. Mine's going to back off the turret. They're going to try to fight for it, though. Then still they're going to find the knockup. Everything's going to be dropped on the Squid. Squid goes down. There's the ultimate from Rem, but it's a little bit late. Flash in. Nice run, but it's Xayah like so far ahead. Xayah might go down, but Xayah's able to bury her to get to safety, and Rem will go down here. And on the backside, Tech is now going to be the thing of targeting. Nice knockup. What's my trunk going to flash in here? He's going to be knocked up. Did he get the kill? Yes, he does. Turret shot does kill.
Oh, no.
But mine's picking off one after another here.
I don't know if he wanted to go in on for that. I don't think the gold is worth it when you just handed 700 gold over to the Poppy. I mean, it is to the Poppy, but still not gold you want to hand over to your enemy.
Iceman going to try something here on Atsuo. I don't know if that's a good choice, as he's already lost half his health. As all out, he's going to take him across. Iceman's going to be forced to...
What a character.
Wow, what? Yeah, that is... Thank you, Little Nas X, president of League of Legends. That is crazy. Oh my god. Yasuo just wanted to hang out, and he got punched in the face with a giant pillar and then taken through a wall. Oh my god. Rem actually going to pick up his blue buff here for the first time in like 8 minutes. And they're going to look towards this dragon here. Mine's is 4 on the bot side here. Atso heading towards the top lane. Here we go. Dragon's going to be started up by Compton. As Rem might be in a little bit of trouble. They're not going to burn the lullaby just yet. And Rem is going to be able not to get away. Elusive in a good spot here. Flashes out. Ultimate coming through from Rammus, but it's not going to be enough. And Rem is going to go down there right away. Ultimate going to be burned by Kale as well. Very fast. And mine's really, really good job there.
Yeah, they just get it for free now after they get this turret course. Actually, and they're going to try and get a turret mid lane too.
They're going to try to run this through. The Pantheon, I think it's doable. Take the Uber, get in the Uber. Your Uber has arrived.
I think they're
Command
just going to
Shockwave.
let the Uber be a distraction.
Oh, the E barely able to save his life. He is able to get away. Wow.
What?
And we are tuning into a teleport top lane. that was an odd director cam moment.
For a cat, yeah. Oh,
a little bit odd. And Mines will pick up the second or third dragon here. Atso AFK top lane. As he's going to turn to Dilshan, though, still.
yeah, she's dealing a bit of damage now, but
Can we talk about how Atso was actually AFK for 2 minutes of that fight?
yeah,
Or 2 seconds of that fight, and he still did a bit of damage. And Rem is still unable to fight him.
yep, sounds
Or
about
not Rem,
right.
Dilshan. League of Legends. We are balancing things. Team has been balancing 200 years of experience.
Yep.
You know, after all these years, though, I still cannot believe they said that to the Aphelios pit. Like, when the people were mad about Aphelios, they're just like, we have 200 years of combined experience. So that just makes you look worse. Why would you say that? Rem needing help from both his mid laner and support there to get his red buff. But he will get it, and he'll get it back in here. Otacon spawning here relatively shortly. It will be spawning bot lane, it looks like. And Mines, though, hanging out on this top lane. They might be looking for Kale. Peck going to be located.
Yep, and it looks like I don't think they really want to after seeing Tech. They just don't really want to risk handing another bit of gold into their pockets, I'd imagine.
Absolutely not. My truck here going to go in here on Tech. Ooh, nice flashing from Squids, or from Elusive. Elusive's going to take quite a bit of damage. Flash taunt to keep Elusive locked down. Elusive is walking. Can he get away? What's my trunk there? Command Shockwave is going to find the kill. However, Rem is going to find himself with Yone on his tail, but he is able to get to safety, and they do pick up one in return. Tech, though, pathing questionable.
Yeah, I don't know.
As he's going
if
to walk
that's where you
straight
wanna
through a
path.
Yone. Rem going to burn the ultimate. Lullaby is available. Fate Sealed going to go in. Going to hit 3. What an ultimate there from What's in My Trunk. Rem going to be forced to run away here. He is going to not... What killed him?
I think it
Can we
was
get an
the
instant
Lilia
replay?
passive.
Lilia passive like barely killed him.
It had to have like just barely scratched his health. Because does Zach have any burn items? Oh, he does have a Leandry's.
That not
So
the
that
Leandry's.
was part of it.
Yeah. So I guess that would have had to have killed him. And Mines will take their first and second inhibitor turrets of the night. Top lane still kind of full health, but in the end, Mines does get 2 out of it. Zach. Questionable choice of recall location.
Yeah, I think he honestly could have gotten out. Kale just didn't attack him for some reason. In fact,
Yeah.
it looked like Kale was just going to run away from him. No, already calling Lilia.
What? True. It would probably not have been wise, especially because Lilia still had Lullaby.
Yeah.
Okay, Augustana going to make a move towards Otacon here. Mine's now going to be back here full health for this fight. And Augustana yet to kind of show some life in this game. The down on gold, almost to 10k now at just 21 minutes. And Mine's continuing to keep up the threshold, keep on pushing their lead higher and higher. They are going to start the Otacon. It is Ruinous Otacon, which is the monster buff one.
Yep.
Which we actually learned after 7-8 weeks of CCL. So we actually figured out how it works now.
Yeah, and of course we get the same one as always. Love to see it.
Yeah, because so many deaths. Like I said, I think they need to raise the threshold.
Something like that. It just feels like you see it super. Maybe it's just like one of those things where they want it to be seen more in pro play. Right? Because to be fair, the other one is kind of boring. At least in terms of like what it does, right? Because you play boring to get the boring one.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. We'll say across the board. Let's take a look at the gold leads. If you want to hit X for me, that would be brilliant. Atso actually down on gold just a little bit. In the jungle, Zaddy's up almost half an item. Looks like a little bit over. Yone up over a full item on Squid. Zaya up almost a full item on Yasuo. And the supports, there's a little bit of a lead in favor of Pantheon. But other than that, not too bad.
Yeah, Nick's been doing some feeding this game. So.
Yeah, he's 2 and 4. yeah, you kind of like to see more from him.
Yeah, I don't think he's the most experienced on Pantheon.
Oh, and Rem is just going to get deleted. Or, yeah. He burns the shockwave, doesn't even get it, except for, yeah, it doesn't technically go off, so he does maintain shockwave. But, yeah. Squid has not had a game. He is not allowed to play. And the only reason Dilshan doesn't have any deaths yet is because he has the fancy, he's going AP
button.
kill. Interesting.
With their team, I think it makes sense. You want a bit less
AD.
Yeah.
They're gonna Grand Star. Can he get out? Oh, he's out. He didn't jump far enough though. If they're going straight into a what's in my trunk though? What's in my trunk gonna be taken really low here? He's gonna be forced to dash away. They're gonna try to turn this one on.
Yeah.
Tech is looking after that 500 gold lead or so, or 100. It's actually only 100. How is it only 100 gold?
I do not know.
Oh, but they're going to try to turn
Oh.
this one. Never mind. It's just some poke.
Yeah.
The
just
Dilshan
scare 'em
burns the
away.
ultimate.
Yeah.
That's a huge ultimate to get right before Baron here spawning in just a minute.
Yeah, and Genesis will have his ultimate back up by then. So I'm expecting to see a 5-man.
Absolutely. Wow. That's how now taking control of the bot lane against Squid here. Squid to match. Not a bad option. Squid does have some range.
Yep. Maybe Squid can get some farm this way. Just try and get him back into the game a bit more.
Absolutely.
I think we did just hear an invite. ping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think the game's gonna end
Here,
after this
the
Baron.
game will end in 3 minutes.
Yeah, roughly.
Take notes, people. I assume it's going to be over this Baron fight.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Baron usually is the game ender.
560 gold for an inner turret. That's wild.
Yeah. I like those, like the
Because
additional
that's
gold.
an additional amount, right?
Mhm.
Inner turrets are 700 gold. That is math.
Yeah,
1200 gold, roughly.
about 1260.
Flash
Oh
in,
my
Fate
gosh.
Seal even drop.
Yep.
Yeah, Iceman just gets deleted. Rem into the backline, but it's not going to be enough. However, they are finding some good damage with Kale, but Kale's going to immediately going to be deleted by the recall of the feathers, and Augustana going to be just kind of deleted there in the topside jungle by Mines. Great setup from Augustana, giving that range to their Kale to do as much damage as possible, but then. Here's the thing about it. The Kale and Tazaya is actually kind of good.
Yeah.
Because you guys both want similar setups. And,
But Zaya just benefits a lot more from it, arguably, with the roots.
well, even then, Zaya's just way more fed.
Yep.
And Mine's going to look to end this game here. Atso going to flash in, not going to get much out of it. But both turrets are going to get down. Squid is going to be trying to run away. He does get away.
Yeah.
Iceman is here. They're going to take away the Cassante. What's in my trunk?
Yeah, he's still hitting the Nexus, guys.
That's a Yone, guys. Please do something about the Yone. And they did not do anything about the Yone, and Mines
Yep.
will pick up game number 1 here against Augustana. Pretty dominant fashion, too.
Yeah. Not what you
Let's take a
want
look.
to see.
Look at the damage numbers here. Just over a 26,000 minute game. Holy jeez. 26-minute game. Sorry. What's in my trunk doing the most damage in the game at 23,000? Actually, a lot less than I kind of thought. It's less than 1,000 a minute, but yeah.
I think it's
it was
mostly
just a short
because of
game.
A lot of it's a
The
shorter
build-up
game.
was kind of So, but he does the most damage, leaving the score here at 10-1. Across the board, mine's doing actually pretty well.
Mhm.
And it was a pretty dominant win. That's kind of what you expect from Mines at this point. Being the third place team, it's something that you kind of expect when they're playing the lower seeds. But we're going to take a quick break here as we wait for game number 2 to start up, and we're going to get all ready for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned for game number 2 as Mines goes up 1-0 on Augustana. We'll see you shortly.
Smoke is scanning to the sky. You can't believe your senses. You think you've seen it all until you open your eyes. I never wanna be alone. This place is cursed. I want you to never leave my side. I run away with you to see some light. When nights is dropping down, we step aside. We dream of feeling something. I want you. I know we both escape to lose the ground. The world we used to know is burning down. We're always strong enough to build our own. We've been running for ages to search some light. I want you. I know we both escape to lose the ground. We've been running for ages to search some light. We can feel every day after running for nights. We feel so I run away with you to see some light. When nights is dropping down, we step aside. I run away with you to see some light. When nights is dropping down, to build our own. We gon' make you move. We gon' make you loose. We gon' make you move. So baby, let's open tonight. Let me get funky. Let me get funky. We gon' make you move from side to side. We gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this just for one more high. So baby, let's orbit tonight. We gon' make you move from side to side. We gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this just for one more. So baby, let's orbit tonight. Let me get funky. get funky. Let me get funky. We gon' make you move from side to side. We gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this just for one more night. So baby, let's all it tonight. We gon' make you move. We gon' make you move.
Don't wanna forget what you feel like, what you feel like. Don't wanna forget what you feel like, what you feel like. Tell me somebody how long he will be on my mind. He will be on my mind. He will be on my mind. It's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I.
And welcome back, everybody, to game number 2. Mine's up 1-0 on Augustana. Mine's now on the red side of things. And we'll welcome you back to a first pick, or first ban, Viego, yet again, for tonight. Augustana looking for something to bring it back here. And they're still not willing to part with that York or Viego ban.
And Silas.
The exact same. Mine's busting out the exact same. But now Augustana gets a first pick. And they first pick the Victor. Victor going to be picked up by doggies. And honestly, a scary champion for Mines. Victor, very, very strong. Especially if that Chaos Storm starts to get kills. That's when Victor can be dangerous.
Well, that's the thing. It might fall behind pretty hard. We can stop the ball from rolling at the start. I think it just won't have as much of an effect.
Diana. That's a new one.
Either jungle or mid.
I was just going to say, that has to be jungle or mid, but I don't think I've ever seen Garlic play.
No, I haven't seen him play it either, so it's probably mid.
That's also a pick you don't see very often.
No.
So that sounds like one of
must be just
Genesis pocket picks.
Specific pick for like a mage like Victor that doesn't really have a good way to get Diana off them.
Fair enough. Augustana now looking to pick up this Ashe here in their second pick. Ashe Braum would be pretty nice. I'd like that.
Yeah.
If Ice can, or is it Iceman or no? Iceman plays AD carry. Whoever their support is can play Braum. Ashe Braum, pretty solid combo.
Yeah, it just has a lot of CC and a lot of damage and a lot of protection. Like, can't really go wrong with it.
They're gonna pick up the Gwengal.
Yep.
That's actually a solid pick, too.
Yeah, they got 2 very strong picks
Gwengal, very strong. Very strong. Now Mines has to look for a response because they probably thought they were going to get Gwen, but not the case. Mbessa! Well, there you go. Mbessa going to be picked up.
So
talk about an overtuned champion.
Top. Yep.
So we actually have quite a story from this last weekend, and I don't know if Will actually heard this over our op tonight, but I'll tell you this: we got our first bad review on Gangster, and it's because Atzo went 11-0 on Mbessa into a diamond top laner. He completely cooked him, and they were also mad about Genesis. Apparently, they were like, nice GM mid laner, even though because he was Masters at the time. But I mean, I don't know what they don't understand about decay games. If you don't play, you just decay out of ranks. And I mean, you could either play a lot and get high, or you decay. And so Genesis had happened to be at GM at the time. Now he's Masters again. So I heard he decayed out of GM. So, but anyway, back to the game here. Syndra going to be banned away from Mines by Augustana. Mines banning away the Braum, like I said. Ashe Braum, pretty strong. And they ban away the Vi as well.
Very good engage, so it makes sense.
But they seem to be convinced that mid lane's still open. They are going to take away Lulu from Jinx Lulu. But Nami's still available. Nami's pretty good with Jinx. Any sort of enchanter's pretty good. Melio would be pretty good. Except for there's not much CC to cleanse other than the arrow.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway. So mine's looking to pick up something here, 4th pick. Who are they going to give counter pick to? Probably top lane. Oh, no, they're not going to give it to top lane because they picked Mbessa already.
I don't know. It's either...
They're going to give counter to support. Interesting.
Yeah, so that is a Diana mid.
That has to be Diana mid because
Volibear jungle. Volleyball jungle's better than top. For some reason. Why is it that like a ton of top champions just get forced into the jungle and perform better there automatically?
Yeah, I mean, you got to say the same thing about jungle characters being forced into mid lane. Oh, that was really loud on the mics a bit. But Augustana going to respond with the Darius pick. I wonder how Darius works into Mbessa.
Probably both deal a decent amount of damage. I bet Darius might win early just because of damage. But I don't know about late.
Darius is just not as mobile as Mbessa is. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Darius struggles at all, Mbessa is just gonna kind of roll him over.
Yeah, he just has to not miss that hook.
If Alistar gonna be the pickup here, and there isn't really a good counter to Alistar. I'll be honest, Alistar is pretty good, well-rounded tank.
Rel is available.
But Rel is available. Is Rel a counter to Alistar?
They both kind of counter each
Leona.
other. Since they're both anti-dives that can play dive, they just, literally cover each other's weaknesses with their own strengths.
Absolutely.
So it's usually just whoever plays the better engage or whoever plays the worst anti-dive. But Leona also makes sense because she's kind of in the same boat, although a bit weaker on the anti-dive.
Absolutely. Okay, we're gonna see our final locked-in picks here. Oh, and we got a DM from Compton. We got like 5 DMs from Compton. Wait, what does he want? They already took like 10. Anyway, I guess that gives us some time to talk about this draft here. I gotta say, I really like Augustana's draft a ton. I like the opening pick with Victor, forcing Mines to kind of think on their feet here, and Mines opts into a Diana, which, you know, I haven't seen in a while. I haven't seen a Diana played, especially in competitive, in a while. Might be a breath of fresh air.
I can
might
see
not
it
be.
working. That is a lot of team fight potential right there with Diana. And Diana Volley Bear combo could be particularly deadly. Those two ults just hitting the entire enemy team for a ton of both mixes of damage.
Yeah.
Not like to see it.
But Gwen, again, fantastic pick for jungle. For Augustana. And I like the Darius pick into Mbessa because, you know, it's something I had never thought of, but I like Darius into Mbessa a lot. But Mbessa is Mbessa. It doesn't matter. I mean, like I said, we watched an 0-5 Mbessa go 5v1 against Mines and just destroy.
Yeah.
So.
Not like the... Yeah, it's a weird draft, though. I think Augustana definitely picked a lot better than last time in terms of drafting. They just had to play those characters well to secure it. Because I don't know how good they are on those characters. They're certainly good characters, but if you can't hit stuff with... it's pretty easy to hit Gwen's skill shots, but, like, if you can't play her well, like, you're just not going to get anything out of it. Oh, no. We'll see how it goes. I do think Augustana has a slightly better draft, but if they fall behind, then I think Mbessa and Diana will just sweep them.
Absolutely. I agree completely. And, thing is, picking Alistar is pretty good. But if anybody knows the Alistar matchup, it's Elusive.
Nick.
Elusive has a ton of hours on Alistar. So he'll be used to the matchup. And hopefully, he made the right call with Leona being that pick.
I think he did. I like the Leona a lot because the ultimate's really good engage, right? It's great for securing picks, and she's also really decent counter dive.
Absolutely.
Not like the best counter dive, but definitely has a lot of stuns and roots up her sleeve to make sure that you don't get to play the game.
Absolutely. She's got a stun for somebody right there. She's got a, hey, stay there stun.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the stun for the person over there.
Yep.
And then she's got a button that's like, I'm not going to take very much damage for the time being. So again, like I said, pretty good choice for against Alistar, but Alistar does get to just press R and take 75% reduced damage at level 16.
Yeah.
Thank you, not awesome. That's
don't know
one of
if
our
it'll
Apex
stop
guys.
a max range and attack speed jinx though.
I just realized, Sir Blue Dog, I don't know if you could say that in my chat, brother. I'll be honest. But I appreciate the support from Not Awesome. Showing up and letting him know that drugs are indeed bad. We do not support drug use here at the Hard Rocker Esports. But yeah, pretty much exactly what we predicted. Diana mid and Mbessa top. And I mean, Augustana definitely has a little bit more traditional of a draft here than last game for sure. But we can break it down. Darius and Mbessa, that'll be an interesting matchup for sure. I worry. What I worry about for Darius is how overtuned Mbessa feels. And, he does have bleeds and he's got hooks and stuff that could disrupt Mbessa, but she has so much movement that he's only going to be able to break up one of those moves, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta pick and choose very carefully. Gwengle is always an angle,
especially into a bulkier team like this one.
Yeah, and I have not seen Garlic's volley bear yet.
He's a pretty decent volley bear. I know that he can't really fight Gwen early on. Gwen just will out damage him, but if he can get ahead, I think there's a good chance he can win 1v1 against Gwen.
Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see that one. Diana to Victor, I agree with your statement earlier. Victor's going to struggle to get Diana off of him, but Victor does have some tools to use at close range, right?
Yeah, he does have a lot of speed for a character like his.
Right, but so does Diana.
Yeah.
So Diana's got quite a few movements, and she also has a ton of lockdown as well. As for the bot lane, Leona Jinx into Alistar Ashe, again, that's just whoever plays the matchup better, I think. Ashe will struggle with a little bit of damage early opposed to Jinx will, and Alistar and Leona will just be going at it. Both are heavy engaged supports, and both can cause a ton of trouble for the enemy team, as both can just kind of sit in the middle of team fights and absorb damage. So that'll be interesting. But as far as I can tell, both sides have a pretty decent draft so far.
Yeah. Both very good drafts. I think it'll just be mostly up to skill. The Gwen and the Victor are both very strong picks, but they just gotta play it well first.
Right, they have to let it scale. They have to get to the point where they are dangerous. And Mines did a really good job of preventing that last game.
Yep.
They prevented Augustana from getting to the point where it was dangerous. So again, you got to give credit to Mines though. They knew that they needed to avoid the Kale from getting level 16. They needed to end the game at a certain point. And they did a really good job.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to game number 2. It should be a lot better of a game, I think. A little bit more back and forth. I'm looking forward to some action from Augustana here. But with that, I think we're going to take a small break here to wait out the rest of our spectator delay. So make sure you stay tuned for game number 2 as Mines is up 1-0 on Augustana. We'll see you shortly. All right, welcome back, everyone. Mine's now on the red side, Augustana on the blue, and they're going to look to invade here. Glad we got back in time. They are going to notice here. Thundercloud are going to be dropped, and they're going to walk here into the blue jungle. Mines has an opportunity here to collapse, possibly, but Mines is going to play it safe, kind of walk away. Volley not going to find anyone, and that's the end of that entire engagement. They do get a ward on the blue buff. However, they saw Volley Bear, so they should know that Volley Bear is going to be starting bot side.
Yep. Yeah, it's not going to really impact them that much. Like, the ward will help them, but I don't really know how much that really does for Mines. especially since they both have vision there, so they just kind of got to chill.
Right. And you know, that deep vision though for mines though is pretty good. That'll help Atsao know when jungler's nearby and not to
Oh yeah, it'll
not to be a little bit too far ahead. Because that's the one thing about Embessa players is they tend to be overextended as hell.
yeah.
So that's gonna be good for Atsao here early as the wave's now starting to crash here in top and bottom lane. Oof. Dilshot doing a good job here on the Darius. So far, so good. He's able to keep Atsao away from the wave.
Yeah, it's what you want to do early on, and Victor's doing what he should do and just like press that early advantage before Diana has that movement potential. Doesn't have it right now. That's just where you want to say, hey, I'm just gonna bully you and try to make sure you stay as far behind as possible before you start bullying me.
So Darius doing some nasty damage there in the top lane. Compton gonna hit level 2. Third here in the lane, looks like. Elusive still yet to hit that nice number. A very different game here. Augustana seems to be having a damage lead in pretty much every lane.
Yep.
However, here comes the gank. Dun's not going to land. Flash in from Zaddy Freakpants. Not going to quite. He's going to force the flash out from Squid. No jungler nearby. What's in my trunk, though? Still alive. Does he can he kill? First blood going to go on to Victor. Zaddy Freakpants has to get the return kill. And Augustana walking away with a little bit of extra gold in their pockets.
Kind of surprised Victor was able to deal that much damage with a single auto attack, but it's still like oofta.
200 years.
Yep, something like that.
Something like that. But Augustana not even here so far. Mine's not quite able to step up to the wave, which understandably, Augustana, you know, having the Alistar, that's very impressive early. So, and Mines is a little bit more scaling to do here on their side of things.
Yeah. Jinx doesn't really look to that much early on unless she gets an advantage.
Oh my lord, that damage is wild.
Yep.
That's Diana for you.
Yeah, you're starting to see
Diana
why
hits-
they picked Diana.
Yeah, Diana hits 6 there and Squid's dead. I mean,
Just
that's
takes
rough.
so much damage and can't counter it.
Ooh, Rem gonna show up here mid lane though. What's in my trunk gonna be forced to walk away. But Dawning Crescent gonna do quite a bit of damage there. Dawning Crescent or
I don't know,
Moonlight Crescent? Maybe
some
some
crescent
crescent
thing.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I forgot.
Oh.
But it seems like Squid's now the one on the back foot.
Yeah.
Mine's looking here in the bot lane. Iceman gonna be flash stunned on, not gonna be followed with a root. Are they gonna be able to get the kill? Another root. Do they have another stun? No, they do. No way. Iceman gonna go down. Zap gonna come through. They do get the kill. And that's a kill onto.
Why did they send him mid lane? They're not even gonna get a kill out of it.
Yeah, what's my trunk gonna walk?
That is not what you want to see at all from a roam that ends up in not only your ADC dying, but the roam just does nothing. I think they even burned a flash on that too.
Oh, that hook. I was close.
Oh yeah, their Gwen ghosted for it.
Oh god. So, yeah, there was a lot burned for that. They didn't quite get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Dilshan's got to be careful if Atsao hits level 6 and gets the public execution. That is very fast way on top of him. And he's got to be aware of that.
Tons of damage too. Because once he gets public execution, they get a bunch of free armor pen and healing too.
Yeah,
because
that's wild.
200 years is certainly a thing that doesn't exist.
True. Meanwhile, Mine's looking towards his first dragon here, which happens to be a mountain dragon. And Rem also on the bot side of this map. Alistar, I mean, it seems like they're everywhere. Iceman's got to be a little bit careful. He's going to hit level 5.
I don't know if Mines wants to be too far up right now.
They should be aware that Rem is in the area with dragon being spawned and all. Ash going to send the E into their jungle to try to locate somebody. They don't find Volibear, so they know that this dragon is free for the taking as Gwen's already on top of it. Mine's going to look to trade the Void Grubs like they did last time.
Yep. And grubbies
Or
tend
squid.
to be more worth it.
The slow missing barely, no stun.
Oof.
Yeah, squid's able to make it out. However, there we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, dead.
Yeah. That
Like
damage.
Like I said, it's
Oh.
headbutt, but it's not in time
Yeah.
as he's able to get out of turret range and out of the. Wait, Elusive might be turning towards Rem here. No, there's no smite, but he does get it. Wait, no, he waited on the smite.
Yeah,
However,
he
Iceman's going to be
waited.
caught
Very
out here
smart.
big time.
And the kill goes
Alistar?
to Jinx.
Tech, brother. Tech, what was that?
I don't think you want to...
You don't want to go in
there.
1v4 there, brother. Another kill going to go on to Mines. Again, they do lose the dragon, but it is all not for... They don't lose too much out of it, though.
Yeah, they got a ton of gold in return, and gold is arguably more valuable than a slight increase in your armor and magic resist this early on.
True. So we have a mountain dragon, we have a Chemtech dragon. So what's your call?
Infernal.
Infernal, okay. So I see a Tech Soul, and I see a Mountain Soul. Brain. What could it be? I want to say Hextech.
All right.
I'm going to say Hextech Dragon. In the chat, pop down in the chat when you see this. I want to see how many people get it right. Go ahead and guess. What dragon is it going to be? What soul? What are you going to locate Atso? Zaddy Free Pants is here. Going to be a full flash away. They might be able to turn this.
You guys want to fight that up top.
Mines does choose to run. And they weren't able to trade onto these grubs yet. They are going to bring Diana. Diana does have the mood fall. Bill, Public Execution going to go wide. Gwen is immune for the time being. And does have the needlework. However, what's my trunk now going to turn onto Gwen? Chaos Storm going to go in. There might be in a little bit of trouble. Really nice job there. One goes down. Chaos Storm not able to find the kill. But Augustana finding something. Arrow going to go wide for Ash. And that's 2 kills on the Darius. And they're going to pick up the dragon and this in the grubbies. And that is not what you want to see if you're Mines. Mines losing quite a bit of gold there.
Yeah. I think they should have known that Alistar wasn't going to be bot lane and just shouldn't have tried it. They took a ton of damage early on just from Gwen, and they just were not able to get anything out of that.
Compton gonna go in here, elusive here as well. Iceman getting
might
a
actually
little
get
bit
a
ahead of
kill out
himself.
it.
Yeah, they don't have solar flare yet, but yeah, Super Mega Death Rocket gonna be killing there, and again, Ash getting a little bit ahead of herself, stepping up for that CS, and winding up with a Leona right behind him.
Yeah, I think. Did she even have vision? She did have vision there too.
Yeah.
I don't know why she stayed up that far knowing Leona was near.
But back to the Grubs fight. I think Mine should have only fought there if Public Execution landed.
Yeah.
Since he whiffed it, I think it would have been better just to kind of walk away and accept kind of defeat here. Alistar stepping up here. They're going to have our first 2v2 here. Nice headbutt into ground pound. However, Ash is going to be taking a ton of damage. Barrier's going to be popped on both sides. Flash away from Compton, even though Compton was ahead in the damage. But he's able to stay away. Victor going to be walking down here. And Elusive left to kind of try to keep Tech away from him. Yeah, Tech is just going to be kind of left here to not be able to get on top of him. Unfortunate. Compton is going to walk away. And that is a 4-0 Jinx. I don't care how many dragons you have. 4-0 Jinx. If you let her get excited in a team fight, she's going to tear your team apart.
Oh, and just late game, any turrets will trigger her. And yeah.
See, here's some game knowledge for Iceman here. If you can't see the 2 health Jinx, shoot your R at their base. That is what you do. Because when they recall, they're going to find themselves in an arrow, and it might kill before they can heal.
Sounds about right.
But if you can't see them, it's the best bet to shoot at the base because they're going to look to base, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think that would have been the wiser decision. But good try anyway.
Yeah. I don't even know if you want to use it. Like, I don't know what Enchanted Crystal and Arrows cooldown is.
It's like 120 seconds at level 1, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to use it on
pretty
stuff
long.
like that, especially if you know it's not going to kill. And they don't really have damage right now, looking at Ash's build.
Oh, Chaos Storm going to be dropped here. They're going to bring in Headbutt. Flashes out of the Chaos Storm, though, for the time being. He's trying to get to Leona. If they can get Leona here, Leona's here. Darius is here well. No Solar Flail available. Leona could be a little bit caught out here. If you can't flash over the wall, yeah, he's caught out. But that is so much worth it to get Genesis out alive.
Mm-hmm. You want to keep their people with kills ahead right now because they're your only chance.
Atso, they're gonna burn so much. Atso goes down. That's a kill onto Gwen.
Zero kill Gwen, by the way, just as I read an Imbess's entire health.
I don't think that was not his. Gwen was able to sit and nice stun. Tech now making a roam here to mid lane. He's trying to bait. He tries to bet Tech in. That is a great bait. The ultimate comes through, and they're gonna find 2 kills in the mid lane.
That is.
However, what's in my truck barely stayed alive. But again, really well played there from Mines.
Yeah, that ultimate hit at just the right time.
Back to what happened top lane. Imbessa's dash actually happened to just barely catch Rem, so Imbessa took 2 turret shots. So that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. But Mines will take this Chemtech Dragon now.
And then we'll see what the next Drake is.
Cloud Soul.
It is? Oh, dang.
Yeah. Cloud Soul going to be happening here. The funny thing is I want to say Cloud was like, man, X-Tech's so much funner.
I was thinking about Cloud too. It was either going to be Infernal or Cloud.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god. That's a 4-0 Darius. However, Ash is going to be collapsed on. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to land onto Zaddy Freakpants, but again, with Elusive just able to press W and take negative damage.
Yep.
They're going to try to take this turret down before Darius can. It's a race for first turret. Can they get it is the question.
I don't think they can.
Oh, it's close. Oh, Darius gets it. Oh, Elusive died.
Yep.
Oh, they do get first turret. Dilshan's not. Oh, Dilshan. Imbessa with the movement. Can he get there in time? He does get the plate.
I don't think he's going to be able to catch up, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be able to walk away.
Best he shouldn't try anyways.
Oof. Oh, public execution going to land. Can he get the kill? He does. And that is a huge shutdown.
Why did Darius stay for that long?
That's rough.
I wasn't watching top lane, but I swear he should have been.
I figured he would have been out
already. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
And that's what Darius needs to be aware about. Is public execution gives Imbessa such a huge range to leap onto someone. You can't just recall in the front of your turret. That's not how that works. Yeah, Moonfall going to be landing here. Squid is just certainly. Oh my god, the shielding's crazy, but not nearly enough.
Yep.
And Chaos Storm going to be burned as well, and mine's going to look towards this middle turret here.
Yeah, Compton's just getting uber fed here. You do not want to see that at all.
Yeah, that's a 5-0 Jinx. And more turret plates appear onto this Jinx. We're going to try to turn this. Needlework going to be burned early here. Mine's still trying to run. They don't have it. Yeah, Mines has got to walk here. Like Compton. They're going to bring Zaddy Freakpants to this fight, though, with no Needlework available. Dilshan here as well. Zaddy Freakpants might have been a little bit overzealous here. He steps forward. He's forced to use the ultimate in retreat. Solar Flare going to land, but it's not enough to keep the headbutt away. Arrow going to land and going to kill one as Elusive goes down. However, if Super Mega Death Rock is available, it is, but Mines is going to back away and take their losses there in the mid lane. Again, Augustana showing a lot more fight here in game number 2. This is a better game than this is the game we wanted. Really.
The Gwen and the Darius are really showing their stripes right now with the damage.
I will say Needlework didn't do very much damage. I'll be 100%. I was kind of surprised by that. So damage still not really come through for Gwen. But that's probably because she started with Gnasher's Tooth. But flash in here from Elusive. Squid's going to try to burn down Compton as Super Mega Death Rocket's going to be burned, and Squid is sure to go down there. And Compton will find another kill. That is a 6-0 Jinx. And
that attack speed is
oh my god, he's got the Yinghao arrow. Is it Younghao or Yinghao arrows? Yuntal arrows or whatever. And yeah, he's got so much attack speed. I mean, gonna get another turret too. That's 300 other extra gold in his pockets too.
Yeah, what's his gold up on
let's take a look at X. Can we hit X please? Yeah, he's already almost a full item up on Ash here at just 15 minutes.
Yeah, but it looks like the rest of the game. Zach is actually up in gold over Gwen right now.
That's kind of impressive.
It's only 100, but still pretty impressive, all things considered.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just due to his presence, I think.
Yeah, he's been ganking a bit more than Gwen. Oh no!
But
I think he might be
able to escape. The mobility though, he's able to keep his distance. Flash headbutt in. Atso's still able to keep his distance. Public execution out to the backline. He dodges the arrow, but it's not enough. He is able to buy so much time, but
he got stunned right as the public execution.
Teleports are coming through. Tech might be in a little bit of trouble. They take the turrets. Mines is going to look to fire. Solar Flare going to land onto Iceman, but not quite stunned. Iceman gets deleted by What's in My Trunk. Gwen's sure to follow as Needlework is going to be banned. And they pay. They pay big time for a kill onto an 0-3 Mbessa.
Well, she didn't get a single kill, but I don't think that really helps it too much.
Yeah, and look at this. Another tower for Jinx.
Yep.
That's some gold into the back pocket of Jinx. And this is not what you want to see. Squid might be in a little bit of trouble. Misses the E. Unfortunate, but he's faster than Squid somehow. Nice stun. He's going to pop the gate. What's in My Trunk going to hear?
Well.
Tech there to buy some time, but is it going to be enough as What's in My Trunk is able to get back on top of him? But they choose to back off here as Jinx has already taken this turret. Jinx is taking turrets. Oh, they're going to get the inner turret.
Run here.
But what do they have available? They don't have Moonfall. Elusive is able to change. Ashe is caught out. Ashe is going to be forced to flash away. But the E, can they get the kill? They're going to choose to back off. Moon, Crescent kills. What the Ashe? Uber's going to spawn mid lane. Going to get a crash there on the inner turret. And Zaddy Freakpants on the run, able to get back to safety. And again, Mines burning back so much. It seems like they lose a team fight and then Mines just takes objectives after objectives.
Yep.
And can we talk about how the fact is Jinx is still 6-0. Yep. Jinx has a completed arrow what I already forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
but
wild arrows.
Yeah,
I think.
the arrows. BF sword almost has a completed IE. This is becoming more and more dangerous for Augustana by the second to continue. Solar Flare is going to land, but he's going to go a little bit wide. Dilshan's going to take so much damage. Moonfall going to miss, but Dilshan's still taking so much damage, and without Dilshan, Augustana is going to be struggling to fight for this dragon as the Cloud Dragon now spawns. This is the third dragon of our game here at 18 minutes.
They burnt a couple ults on it, but it was very worth it because now they can just kind of take it without having to worry about any contest. Especially since they're Gwen's topside.
Absolutely. I mean, if they can catch out Darius, I mean, Darius was really fed. They're able to pick up a shutdown there, and that's totally worth it. That second Cloud Dragon now going to be picked up. That's some extra movement speed and cooldown reduction there in the pockets of Mines. And they pick up 3 dragons. That's going to be really difficult for them to deal with, especially with a Diana that can just spam buttons and do infinite damage.
Yep.
So... And Rem, you're getting a little bit of...
oh, my damage.
Rem, brother, you're a little bit ambitious here. He goes golden. They're actually waiting for Zaddy Freakpants to show up. Yeah. Yeah, Rem, you got a little bit overzealous there, especially when you saw Diana, when she can blow you up in 2 buttons. You need to be careful with that.
Get out of there, honestly. I don't even think... yeah, they were able to do a ton of damage in return with a Rabadons, but I don't think you win that.
Yeah, but now Zaddy Freakpants. What's in My Trunk? Why do they have to have all capital letters in their names? What's in My Trunk? Gonna need to be a little bit more careful there, as Darius now showing. But they're gonna look to fight this though. Dilshan on the run, nice hook. What's in My Trunk? Still gonna fight. Moonfall gonna drop. Oxy and Guillotine gonna land, but not quite enough damage. He does get the kill with the Q, but can Garlic kill? Ultimate gonna drop as well. Does he have the damage? He does. Super Mega Death Rocket going wide, but very well put. Very much in the right place in the right time. Zap going to go wide, and Mine's disengaging from the mid lane.
Yep. Yeah, Leona just not damaged.
I think that's a shutdown, though, that went over from Diana, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
I will say, even though Atsao seems to be so far down, he's still doing things. He's on the map. He's farming. He's trying to catch back up. And he's not actually that far behind. He's only 2k down. That's about 2/3 of an item or so.
Yeah.
So, Mines. Atsao has an opportunity here to catch up here in this game. And it is Mbessa, right? Mbessa incredibly overtuned. Still will do a ton of damage regardless.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited to see what Mbessa can do towards this later game here as we approach 21 minutes here. The game first, next dragon will be spawning in 2.5 minutes. Baron is up in 4 minutes. Mine's already here in their jungle. Rem, with no vision, doesn't know Mines is here. Mines knows Rem's there.
Yep.
Yeah, oh my god, Rem just
Wow.
got deleted, and that's a free red buff for Compton. 7-4. Tasty.
Yeah, that I did not expect that amount of burst.
I
I
don't think Rem expected to see a full health Leona walk out of the bush and Q.
Yep.
And Mines will now have free kind of reign over this Otacon.
In fact, I bet you that Rem was stunned for about 100% of that fight. Like,
Absolutely, but Mines looking to go in here. Nice knockup from Tech. However, if Iceman, yeah, he's going to get Moonfault. He's done for. Super Mega Death Rocket get him go a little bit wide, but again, the thought is there, and that's what's important. It was there. It was something they had to work around, and right on. Mines picks up the Otacon as well. So that's improved buffs. Uh-oh, Rem, don't walk in there. Ooh, flash in really well done there from Tech. They're going to try to turn this fight. Elusive is in the back line. Meanwhile, what's in my trunk goes golden. Ultimate's going to be popped from Zaddy. Free Pants, tons of damage across the map. Dilshan seems to be the menu. Needlework going to drop. It's not going to be enough as he's going to go down. Zaddy Free Pants is going to be taken really low. Tech is the next thing on the menu. As Compton is still alive, he is excited, but the stun is going to be enough. Public execution somehow landing from across the freaking map as Squid is going to be the next thing on the menu. Flash in from Compton. He's not going to be enough. Zap going to go wide. And without a Super Mega Death Rocket, Squid is safe for the time being, and Mines can disengage. Wow, what a play there from both sides. I really like the setup from Augustana, but Mines just has too much damage for them to deal with right now.
yeah, and they didn't get either of their shutdowns, which is really what they wanted out of that fight.
Yeah, Jinx now increases up to 8-0, and that's a completed. That is a completed IE. And looking, what is the slingshot and the Zeal item build into?
Great question. I don't
remember. It's been too long. But yeah, that's more crit, and Compton will continue to get stronger and stronger. And when he hits 100% crit, that's going to be critical mass here for this Jinx.
Yeah, maybe it's Kraken Slayer, although I don't know.
Kraken Slayer even be good here? For Darius? Probably, actually.
Yeah. Well, Kraken Slayer for Darius and
Dilshan. He's going to flash away. Q going to land. Solar Flare going to land, and that's a full. Yeah, Jinx gets the free fire. That going to land a nice headbutt there, but again, without Darius, they can't flash over. Nick going to go whiff, but the stun going to land on Iceman. Iceman's going to be forced to flash away. Super Mega Death Rocket sure to follow up, and there it is. Squid now found himself on the wrong side of the barrel here as he's just going to get deleted. Needle going to be dropped. Huge headbutt. Ultimate over the wall fails for Garlic, but they're still going to be able to make this one up as Gwen's going to go down, and it is just Rem. And look at how many attacks per second. Compton is popping off there. Holy 10-0 on the Jinx. Holy crap. I don't know if you saw how
try and end mid and top.
There were so many rockets.
Yeah, no, there was. And Alistar just got shredded. Like, I don't know if Alistar even knew how fast his health was dropping.
Yeah, he didn't even see that he was dead before he was dead. Dilshan going to be respawning here, but Atsuo very confident as his team's nearby here. Dilshan knows better. That's an excited Jinx. I wouldn't want to walk into that either.
And she just gets a bunch of free stuff, and they get Drake.
Oh, God. And Vesta might be a little bit caught out and forced to flash away. Mine's going to try to look in here. Moonfall going to land. Public Execution going to go wide. But Jinx is still able to free farm. If she can get a kill here, she has to get one kill to get online here. She goes down. That's a shutdown. Mines is actually going to lose this fight. A huge fight over Augustana.
I don't think they should have fought that.
The problem was Compton was unable to get the kill, unable to find that first get excited stack. And that's unfortunate for Mines. They're not able to get anything from it, and they're able to kill Compton. And yeah, that's some huge shutdown gold for Augustana.
Like, really split up.
Tech, what are you guys doing? They're so low health. Tech almost dies. Garlic is still functional and alive. I don't know if he's going to try to steal though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
they're
going
to choose to give Baron. Tech is taking a ton of damage. They do get it. That's an objective bounty for Augustana, and Augustana buys back a little bit of gold here. Good fight for Augustana, and really huge Baron pickup here. The 1-9 Ash is not doing them any justice, though, unfortunately. As now almost down a full item and a half. And mid lane also down about an item. Jungle about the same, pretty even. And Darius is up a full item on Atso. That's pretty good. And supports are kind of useless anyway, so it doesn't matter. Been Zaddy Free Pants hanging out here in the bot lane. Atso here as well. They're going to try to collapse here on Dilshan.
They know that most of their damage is on Darius, so I think they're just going to try and go after him again and again.
Absolutely. I mean, collect as much as you can. Mine's going to take control of this lower jungle here. Everyone is here. Victor and Gwen are crashing mid. And I don't know if Mines is aware of that yet. Mines might be trying to fight. They're going to see this, though. Victory gets caught out. That's huge. Solar Flare is going to be burned. Alistar going to try to do something here. Super Mega Death Rocket. Jinx has to get into this fight. Jinx has got excited. This is huge. If she can kill Dilshan, that's huge. Oh, the Noxie GT not even quite coming through. That's 2 kills for Jinx. Iceman still free farming, but she's 1 in 10. Does not do any damage in Mines. Again, coming back here. And they're going to head towards mid lane here to crash this wave.
Yeah.
Could this be the end of the game?
I think it is.
27 minutes into this game. Mines find the winning kill. And, yeah, they don't actually have any grubbies, though. Augustana does have 6 grubs.
Oh, they have plenty of damage, though.
But, yeah, they have a ton. That's Mines picking up the series 2-0 against Augustana. Wow.
Damage is insane.
Way better of a game than game 1 from Augustana. Really well played, especially from Darius. Darius doing a ton of work here for Augustana, unironically, and Rem doing a good job on the Gwen as well. I mean, you see the 666 for 19,000 damage, most damage on the team. However, What's in My Trunk doing the most damage in the game at 30,000 damage. Just a little bit over Compton at 28,000 damage. Compton finishing 12-1 on a Jinx. And, I mean, you see that, you get scared.
Yeah.
That makes you shake in
so
your boots.
strong.
So Mines will advance to LAN as the 3rd seed. And will most likely play NDSU first round. Depends if NDSU loses tonight, but they're playing...
Are they playing?
Who was 7th seed? I don't remember. I think they're playing not USD, the other one. Oh, it is USD. Huh. Well, yeah, they play USD, and you know what? USD did upset ISU, but it was a full FF. So, but I think Mines will play NDSU in the first round, which honestly, coming back from week 2, Mines better team. They're looking better than they were in the first weeks of this tournament. And they gave NDSU quite a run for their money in that first game 1. So I'm looking forward to LAN, and Mines has got a lot cooking here headed into the postseason.
Should be pretty fun to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. So any final thoughts about this game before we go into everybody's favorite part of the stream?
Nope.
All right, without further ado, we can start with our Mighty and Media Award and MVP Award nominations. And we always start with MVP, so Augustana, if I got to pick one person, I don't know. It's always hard to pick, especially when you don't know the guys personally. I know of them, and I have watched them play for a while, and so I know what to kind of expect from them. Dilshan did very, very well on that Darius, and Rem kind of did pretty well on the the Gwen as well. Bot lane from Augustana left a little bit to be desired. I mean, you let the Jinx get out of control, and I mean, the Alistar did pop off though. I got to give it.
He
credit.
did a very
had
good
some
job
really good entry.
ganking, but he just gave it way too much early on.
Yeah, and he did struggle in game number 1, but I think that's due to the picks. You know, Yasuo is not a very great AD carry pick.
Yeah, not the best.
So, but yeah, so I don't know. What are your thoughts so far, or what are your thoughts?
I can't remember. What did the top laner play in the first game?
Not been that impactful if I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the first game too well, but I do know that the Darius was a decent source of their damage.
They played Kale into Starwalking, Mr. Cassandre.
They did do a decent amount of damage, honestly.
Yeah, they did set up pretty well, and Dilshan normally does pretty well on the setup.
I'd honestly probably give it to him. I think his damage was very impactful in both games. Like, now that I remember it's Kale, I just remember her auto attacking the other ADC twice, and it just did all their damage.
Yeah. Yeah, so I agree with that, actually. I like the thought. Dilshan did a ton of damage over the course of the series for his team, and his setup was really, really good, and he played very, very well into Atso, which, I mean, we've seen Atso do nasty things to higher ranked individuals. So
yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so congratulations to TM Dilshan. You are tonight's MVP. And on to the Mighty and Media Award for the last one of the season. Well, at least until LAN. It's 2 weeks away. But I mean, we'll talk top to bottom like we normally do. In the top lane, Atsuo played very well game 1 on the Cassante. He gave Dilshan a run for his money. Game 2 left a little bit to be desired with the Mbessa, but it seemed very unfortunate. He kind of got shut down quite a bit by the jungler. Rem showed up quite a bit top lane, and Atsuo kind of just caught himself in a bit of an unfortunate matchup there. Darius does seem to be a pretty good answer into Mbessa, so I like the pick from Dilshan. So I won't hate on Atsuo's Mbessa too much, especially because I've seen it do so much damage before.
Yeah.
So just an unfortunate kind of thing happening in game 2. But game 1, absolutely playing very well on the Star Walk and doing great. Going down 0-1 and then coming back and solo killing their AD carry. So that's really, really cool. So really well done there from Atsuo. In the jungle, Zaddy Free Prance, of course, everywhere and anywhere at once. Very great ganks. Again, another game where I can confidently say that there were no bad ganks from him. Where he when he ganked, he walked away with at least 1 kill, and that's always great, especially when he gets Genesis ahead early. He got Diana super fed, and so Diana was a major problem for Augustana there. So again, Zaddy Free Prance doing what he does best, right?
Yeah.
In the mid lane, of course, Genesis played very well, both on the Yone and on the Diana. Sorry, I'm forgetting some things. And especially because Yone, experienced some good nerfs here at least recently. He did play very well, very high damage, and did both damage in the game, both games. Yeah. And it's kind of what you expect from your mid laner, especially in the GM's category. He did a very, very good job of doing that, doing damage, showing up, and he played very well. And it felt like Squid just didn't get to play the games tonight at all.
Yeah.
He got kind of shut down constantly. So I think that hurt Augustana immensely, especially when you have to deal with a 6-1 Diana running at your AD carry and just deleting it. So
much damage.
Interesting. In the bot lane, though, I'll say this again. I think Nick left a little bit to be desired from the support role tonight.
Yeah.
He played very well. There were some really good opportunities, really good engaged, really well roaming, chasing, finding the enemy Poppy, especially in game 1 there, leading to a first blood there for Mines. Really good job, good tracking as always. He does what he does. There were quite a few flash misses from the Leona.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, he did it blind for the most part, so you got to give it credit. The attempt was there. Very well done, and the Leona still looked good. Kind of boxed that Alistar out a lot of the fights, and helped extend the fights for Mines, especially winning ones.
Oh, for sure.
So, and he died quite a bit, and when he died for saving somebody else, which made a lot of sense. And he did a really good job of just kind of being in the right spot at the right time, right? And onto the bottom, Compton doing quite a bit of work tonight, showing up. Doing great work on the Xayah and on the Jinx. Xayah, I got to give him full credit. That 1v1 in the bot lane on Yasuo was actually really, really well played. Yeah, managing to kill the Yasuo at point blank range. The spacing could have been better, in my opinion. I know he's saying, man, I can't do anything right to him. But no, he played very well. He still gets the solo kill, and the Jinx game proved that he was able to do quite a bit of damage in team fights, get excited, and find some success there in the bottom lane role. The only thing I could really say is that there were times where he felt in kind of an odd position, but other than that, he played very, very well and did a great job tonight.
I agree. I think Compton definitely, I think they talked about it a bit in chat too, is that final team fight was I want to say 60% Compton's damage coming from, and that's really what allowed them to win it, is because Jinx got a single kill and just snowballed all of it.
Absolutely. And I gotta say, I forgot to mention Elusive's Pantheon. It was actually pretty good. Very, very, very good at countering that Yasuo. Very good at countering in general and keeping Poppy Yasuo at bay. And it did quite a bit of damage as well.
Yeah.
So, but with that, I think I'll open the floor to you for Mighty and Media Award and see what you have to say about tonight.
Yeah, I kind of talked about it a bit already, but I think Compton did a really, really good job with damage in both games. Like, both the Zaya and the Jinx dealt a lot of damage in both games, so it was just, yeah, it was probably one of the best showings I've seen from them.
Or, maybe we should give our Mighty and Media Award to our viewers. They do so much for us here, and they show up every stream, regardless of win or loss. They're always here. It's always great to have them. But in all seriousness, I think I can agree with that. I think Compton did a lot tonight. And honestly, just overall, I think he just improved over the season immensely. He started off the season with getting caught out constantly, to getting used to Elusive not being in lane all the time, playing the 1v2s, doing a great job, starting to learn how to farm from that angle. And honestly, he did a great job growing over the season. And honestly, the growth was really fun to watch, and I think I'm looking forward to watching him at LAN 100%. So I think we're in agreement. Compton is our Mighty and Media Award winner for tonight. I kind of want to try something new. I want to say, who do you think is the MVP of the split? Who do you think played the best over the course of all 8 games that we watched here at Hard Rock Esports?
Oh.
That's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought about this. I was like, maybe this is a good idea to do.
I mean, I don't know for sure, honestly.
Personally, it's pretty close between Elusive and Genesis. Genesis for damage, Elusive for presence.
That's what I was thinking. Nick was everywhere.
You know what? Actually, no, screw this idea. Cancel. Everybody, you didn't hear what I said earlier. Let us create, how at the end of games like CSGO where it gives them like a title? We're going to create titles right here now for every player.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Atsao, my title for him is the underdog. That guy showed up this season as a silver player and just dominated the top lane. He played his game his way and did a great job over the course of the season.
I think he did the best for sure. Yeah.
What title would you give him though?
Ooh.
See, we're gonna go back and forth like this.
I like the underdog though. I don't know what else.
Well, we could both do underdog. I'm not gonna say you have to create your own.
I'd say he's been a very competent underdog, just constantly taking people off guard. I don't think a single team came in and actually thought he was good.
Right. Of course. I agree. In the jungle, now we'll move on to Zaddy Freak Pants. And I'll let you do this one first, and I'll chime in.
I kind of just want to say everywhere at once. It felt like he was always ganking somewhere. Like, I don't think I had barely ever see him farm. It feels like I always see him on mid lane or
what about the unstoppable ganker? I think he, like you said, over the course of the season was fantastic. But I think I actually like everywhere at once better, I think. Because everywhere at once, it seems like he was in every lane, every game, doing his job, showing up, doing great ganks. So I think everywhere at once is what we would call Garlic. In the mid lane, Genesis, Unkillable Demon King.
Yeah,
is probably
I
the
think that
best line.
Gives him the best one.
Yeah, because it seemed like every game, every mid laner was always behind.
Played well,
and even like when he was on weak side casting, he did a really good job climbing back in and almost saving the game there for Mines.
Yeah,
there's no better name other than Unkillable Demon King. That guy was a menace to CCL for the course of the season, and I'm pretty sure every mid laner that played against him did not want to play against him.
Yeah, I'm sure no mid laner really liked having to face against the GM.
Yeah, no, I mean that's quite an accomplishment. Just I don't know, but and to the bot lane support, Mr. Elusive. What do you think?
I don't know. I want to say like eyes everywhere, because it felt like I know Nick loves keeping track of where everyone is.
The jungle tracker.
Yeah, he literally tracks jungle. Like, he knows where everyone is usually at a certain time.
The knower. We can call it. He's a knower.
Is a knower.
He's a knower.
I think he's
is
a knower.
That what we're gonna call it? The knower. Yeah. He's the knower. He knows. He's the knower. I like that. That's such a good one. He's the knower. So Elusive is the knower, and then MX Compton. I don't know. This one's pretty difficult.
I kind of want to say like it's a stupid name, but like the sniper. Just
Oh,
with how
true.
many global alts this man has hit on Jinx and Ashe over the course of the semester.
Dude.
Like, I think the best reactions I've ever had to his gameplay was when he would hit a Mega Rocket from out of nowhere or just a crystalline arrow cross map.
What about the off-screen Dominator?
Yeah, that's true.
You never see him coming, but his arrow hits you from across the map. That was so much fun. It was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like you said, it seemed like every time we had a global ultimate on him, every fight, at least there would be an arrow somewhere.
Yeah.
And every team fight, you know the teams just knew, well, there's going to be an arrow somewhere.
Yeah, bomb's going to hit one side of us.
Yeah, so we need to be aware. And I think that did help Mines win a few of these games. And it felt like it was always in a right time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it felt like momentum was slipping, and then all of a sudden, across the map rocket would land and kill somebody.
It was a tide turner a lot of the time.
And it felt really important to Mines' mental. So I agree. So I say, okay, so we got the underdog.
Yep. Everywhere
at once. Unkillable Demon King.
Yep. Jungle Tracker, or the Knower.
The Knower.
Yeah.
Yep. And the off-screen Dominator for your guys' MVP names for the split. Let me know if you guys like this idea. I don't know. I just kind of thought it might be fun to kind of give our thoughts on the season, talk about each player, and honestly, I do like watching this team play. So I have had fun this split, and I want to thank you guys. The fans are always awesome. Thank you guys for staying tuned for all the season, sticking with us through the hard times, because we definitely had some hiccups here and there. So I appreciate it, you guys sticking with us, and loving you guys as much as we possible. Oh, I almost forgot Smippy Dog. Smippy Dog is the number one sub. We call him the meatball sub. That's the best name. I've called him that for so long. He just doesn't understand. I love you, Smippy, if you're watching. He's the meatball sub. But anyway, any final thoughts about this game or the season before we kind of get into our normal spiel of things?
Yeah, it was a fun season. I just can't wait to see more.
Absolutely. So with that, the season's not technically over. We have advanced to LAN, so make sure you guys tune into LAN. Not next weekend, but the weekend after. Of course, we're not going to play LAN on Easter weekend. Doesn't make any sense. So make sure you tune to that. That's going to be on Trojan Esports Twitch page. I believe it's Trojan_esports or Trojan Esports. So make sure you tune on to that. Not next Saturday, but the Saturday after. So tune in there. There's going to be tons of games there. Our Rocket League team also made it, so you're going to see Mines' Rocket League team playing there as well. It's going to be a ton of fun, and we're going to be there as well. I'm pretty. If Bagels is coming,
I should be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, Bagels is coming. I'll be there. Johnny Nightfall might come. I don't know, and Alice should be there as well. So that it'll be a ton of fun. You're going to see a ton of us and other players as well.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in for that. With that, I believe we can begin or bring an end to our broadcast tonight. First off, I want to thank our sponsors so much: Blue Peak, Live Hospitality, and Amatech. Blue Peak has been around for the longest time here at Hard Rocker Esports. They provide so much for us. They provide the internet connection, and they truly bring the streams to you guys. So thank you to Blue Peak. Again, check them out at mybluepeak.com. Again, that is mybluepeak.com. Live Hospitality is one of the largest sponsors of the channel, and they do a lot for events around here. Especially, they provide hotel discounts for teams that come in for LANs and stuff that we host. So huge thank you to those guys. You can check them out at livehotelgroup.com. That is livhotelgroup.com. With that, if you want to connect with us on a kind of a little more intimate level, get to know the players a little bit more, you can follow us on social media. We have a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So make sure to check us out there. You can find all the VODs on YouTube if you missed a stream. And all the scores are always updated onto our social media by our awesome social media manager. So make sure to check them out. Give us some love there. We love to see the support there as well. And of course, you can always follow and subscribe to the Twitch channel. Every little bit does help. It goes to anything that we need, everything at once. So we really appreciate it if you guys can do that for us. Every little bit helps. It helps put lights on. It helps bring the fixed system, stuff like that. So we really appreciate the donations and everything you guys do for us. And again, thank you to the viewers for another fantastic season. Already 12 seasons is my 12th season of CCL, and you got to say it never gets old. I love to see the support in our chat, and we love you. So thank you very much for watching. Anything else? Did I miss anything?
I don't think you did.
Absolutely. So we're going to send it away one final time. My name's Coach T.
And my name's deathhavbagels.
And we'll catch you on the flip side. Goodbye.
I'm back to quitting myself in prison, got shit to finish. Yeah, I had a minute. Yeah, ain't had to live.